Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. Hopefully, you're all having a fantastic day. Apologies, won't be a minute. Just need to click a couple of things. Hi, Otakaro. Iota. How are you doing today? Yeah, Otakaro. Yeah, apologies. Hopefully, you're having a good New Year. You prefer Ota over Otakaro? Okay, that's fine. Some people like it, their things short, and others don't. So, thank you for letting me know. Right, so that was 1, 2. That needed to be a half slab. That's fine. Yep. And I'm misplacing blocks already. Hi, Joe. Ah, so you got a name that does that anyway. It can always be interesting. Right, so. Hi, Ali. Oh, I'm ticking along. I can't complain. Right, so I'm. Yep. Hi, Block. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Right, so that's what I'm missing. I was looking at it and thinking, something's not right here. Something's still not right here. Let's go back. Sometimes it's easier just to take it back down to the ground. You're doing good. You finally have a break from school. Awesome. I know I'm enjoying my time off. So that was that one and that. So I need one more here. And then it goes to a half slab, and that goes up 2, and that goes up 2. And then it goes that. Then it goes that. There we go. So you just, yeah, it is supposed to look like that. And because these are only 1 wide, I've had to alter it so it looks more like a cyclops on these ones, with 1 large eye at the top. Because it's a lava and red nether brick and nether brick build, I figured it needed faces in. And where was I building? Around here by the look of it. There we go. Just give it a little bit of character, is what I'm thinking anyway. And it's not so bad once you've kind of got the rhythm. And apologies if it makes anybody feel a bit queasy. If it does, let me know and we'll see if we can move on to something else. Right, so that. I know the twisting and turning isn't for everybody. Right, now comes a fun bit, because I have to come down a little bit to try and place that one just against that. It doesn't particularly like it. You watched the stream with the tour in the holiday. Oh, the guys did awesome where I didn't do a build for Halloween. I did a Christmas one, but not a Halloween one. But yeah, they were so clever and so fantastic what the guys have did on the server. They make some amazing builds. Whether it's redstone contraptions, building buildings, etc. They are fantastic at it. And they push you to up your game and learn things. I don't think you could play, you know what I mean? If you're playing on the server, you end up learning. Whether you mean to or not is beside the point. That's that half slab. Up, up. I was just discussing in chat not a few minutes ago. Yeah, no, I didn't do a Halloween one. I just did a Christmas one. I think I'm out. Am I out on that thing? Seems a bit close. Oh, well, I'm out of scaffolding, so let's just pinch some. But yeah, it's always fun to see what people can come up with. Yeah, sorry, I was in mid-floor of thinking about a conversation we had a few minutes ago on the server and landscaping. And how I got into landscaping was by seeing a few floating bits of rock that I didn't want in my build. And before I knew it, I kind of built a mountain and had to pick Cable's brains on how to make it look right. And Cable being Cable, because he's an awesome guy. He's one of those guys who appears very rough around the edges, but has a heart of gold. Yeah, he gave me a lot of tips on how to deal and build mountains. This is where it fixes itself, that's why. I will be forever grateful for him for that. I've had lots of fun building mountains. Oh no, that's wrong. Huh? What did I do? I did something terrible somewhere. Okay, let's go back up and tear that out. Something is not right. Because I have this and then I've got that bit there, and that bit up there shouldn't be up there. Hi Bowser. Oh, cable is amazing. In all the right ways. I love seeing cables build, and I love that he started stretching himself. I'm doing builds of all sorts of different styles. Speaking of rough around the edges, depending on how far you scale something out, it feels smooth if held in hand. Imagine Earth with all its valleys and mountains. If Earth was scaled down to a size of an 8-ball, it would not feel anything but smoothness. Saying, one may be rough around the edges, but from far away, anyone is smooth. That's cool. But yeah, like I say, cable is amazing. It truly is. Yep. Right, so 1, 1, 2, yeah. 1, 2, and then 1 on the top. Yep. Like I say, I've had so many fun hours doing landscaping when I was pulling my hair out originally, trying to figure out how to do it. Yeah, he streams occasionally. And he's definitely a fun person. Right, so you go there. Let's get rid of you. I've definitely done something wrong somewhere. Right, so that's the middle. That should be the first one. That's 1, 2. So this should be the third. Behind here should be one of those and one of those, and that should finish that off. So I've got the 2 half slabs, and that's the first of the stairs. Means that should be a stair. No, not there, Pendle. One further down. And it's always fun to see the cables statues pop up here, there, and everywhere. That's better. Stick some torches up there for the minute until we put the next lot of blocks. I was playing with redstone earlier today, trying to figure out, have I done it wrong again? I've done it wrong again. What's going on with my brain today? They are definitely server landmarks. So we have one there. We should have a half slab there, which means we have 2 full blocks there with a stair on top. goes behind with 2 full blocks on top. Then brings this in like that. And that like that. 1, 2, 3, and we're right. It's not that hard a pattern. It really isn't. I shouldn't be messing it up like that. 1, 2. But hey. Oh, the redstone. I was thinking, because when the villagers... I'm doing the public trading hall for those who aren't aware this season. And eventually I want them to be up on these floating islands. But mob proofing the amount of area around here is going to be virtually impossible. So I'm going to have to take into consideration how I deal with raids, because they do end up happening at a public trading hall. It is guaranteed. You will at some point get a raid. And it was a case of, okay, so raids end when you either kill all the bosses or they win. And they can win by destroy if all the villagers have no stations. So I was thinking maybe I find a way to remove the stations if there was a raid going on. That there'd be a button that you can press that could just destroy them. But some of them are immovable objects, like the lectern. So then I was thinking, okay, so if I can't move the lecterns, maybe I can move the villagers, drop them down a couple of blocks and seal them in. That should theoretically cut their access off to the lectern, therefore the lectern isn't claimed, which should, in theory, from what my very, very basic understanding, stop the raid because you've lost. But when I went to test it, I could seal the villager in, but he still kept claim of the station, even though he had no way to path to it. So it was kind of weird. So I'm going to have to work some more on it and see if there's anything I can come up with. Because it was only redstone-y stuff with signals up and down more than anything else. But like I say, it didn't really work. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That one goes there. Yeah. It's a case of either that or I have to half slab everything. Because I don't think light level matters when it comes to a raid. That's what I'm thinking. It's just logic. So if there's a logical reason to trigger it, and you've got 2 states, a win and the end, which causes the raid to finish either a win or a loss. Winning means somebody has to physically kill all the raiders, and they could be anywhere. Whereas if I could control a loss, so that you could just push a button and it's automatically a loss situation that ends the raid. and keeps my villagers alive. Unless I am completely wrong in my thinking, which wouldn't surprise me. But anybody has ideas, tips, tell if I'm barking up the wrong tree. Zombie siegers ignore light levels completely if they happen. If there's a raid, they also ignore light levels, but will spawn outside a randomly selected player's range. That is within range. Yeah. Slabs don't matter normally then. So my only option then is to make it a loss situation, which is fine because no offence to whoever brings the raid to the public trading hall, it's not a place to be doing winning raids. There are better places to do that and better ways to do that too. Yeah, he did, didn't he? And they spawned on slabs. I thought it was top slabs rather than bottom slabs, but I could be wrong. Yeah, and raid mobs on all sorts of blocks. That was my concern. Which was why it was a case of, okay, if I'm going to put something in place, I'm better doing the loss scenario than the win scenario. I think I may have, at least I have some control over it. Hopefully. At the moment, I think we've been okay because I built out over the ocean so far. And transparent blocks, but there's no guarantee with that. I know people are really good anyway. They really are with checking what they've got before they go to a farm. That's not right. Pendle, what are you doing? Would be that. So 1, 2, 3. And this should be even up. And sometimes my brain ticks that it likes a little problem to solve. But then there's always the issue of sometimes villagers don't like to update what they're doing straight away either. Because villagers, well, they're villagers. I've never seen one yet, Joe. Not this so far this season. But there's a 6-month period where I was doing single player. So whether there was one in that case. Oh, definitely got to keep the brain active somehow. and then a half slab. Because on one side they're 2 wide, on one side they're 1 wide. There's a slight block count difference. Yeah, you find village. Hi Puri, how are you doing? You find villagers to be fairly simple-minded, practical people. They definitely sound much more thoughtful than they are. Yeah, exactly. That's true, Ota. There have been seasons when there have been practically raids every week. They happen. Best will in the world, things happen. You're a bit sick? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully you'll feel better soon. It's not much fun when you're feeling sick. Doesn't raid need a village, so there's a bunch of villagers with no beds. They don't need a bed, they just need a workstation. If a villager has a workstation, that's enough to classify it as a village in the mechanics for raids. True, that's the thing. It was one of the reasons, especially as I built this, week 1. Yeah, if you've got villagers, yeah, be careful. I tend to drop lava on the banner guys. On the servers you've disabled the patrols, so you have to visit the pillager outpost deliberately. That is a good way for that, but on here it's pretty much sticking with the strictly in the overworld area, the vanilla kind of mechanics. I won't say all of it because the above is not completely vanilla. Yeah. We still have fire tick on, so things can burn down. I remember one guy a few seasons ago was showing me pictures of a build he'd done a season or so earlier that caught fire and burnt down. Hang on, where am I? Let's check this because I don't think this is right. Bless him. But then, like I say, then we have the above. And the above has a whole bunch of OP mobs, mansions, puzzles, that kind of thing. Mobs that can one-shot kill you. To keep those who are interested in mob fighting, etc., interested. But then we have a grifter and a drop and a TP and so on who come up with some crazy things. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that should do that one. Grab the bits and move on to the next pillar. So there's that one there, which should go both ways, and that's at least the outside of this bit done. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one should have start of these. Solid blocks. Half slabs. Okay. Got 1, 2. You need to come back here. You're doing it again. Don't do things out of sequence. Do things out of sequence, you cause yourself problems, Pendle. And by the way, Ali, I'm assuming it was you, Ali, who made a delivery yesterday. Thank you very much. People being amazing again. We'll go the half slabs. Back, forward. You don't know what I'm talking about. You've also seen deep slate shulkers being free at the loony bin. At the loony bin, okay. I wasn't aware of the loony bin doing them for free. I knew the farmer's crate was. So I've been there a couple of times and left donations instead. But I'll have a look at the. It's all good. I am not worrying about it. There's a ton of deep slate that I need to tear out of that floating island that's not the deep slate. The island needs to move from there to under here, kind of thing. So, yep. And I have several. I calculated how many I needed. And I'm pretty sure I only need 1 or 2 more, which I can get. Yeah, deep slate isn't hard usually to come by with the digging that goes on the server. Crazy people make crazy holes. And I include myself among them sometimes. The hole digging variant. So this one should. Oh, see, I've done it wrong on those 2. I need to go correct it. Should have been that one. I will fix those in a second. It shouldn't take long to do that. Well, and also considering half the world now is deep slate. Or it feels that way sometimes. So it should have had half full. Here we go. Lots of amazing, great, crazy people on the server. You included, Ali. As in the great variety. So, no, you didn't mean to jump there, Pendle. Because you should have been. No. You need to be one further down, don't you? Kill 5 unique mobs with 1 crossbow. Wow. GG, Lima. That's a special one. Bottom. Okay, let's go sort out this last corner that I did wrong. And then we'll start putting in some of the walls. Oh, you. Yep. That should tidy that lot up. Get my scaffolding back. I'm going to need it. And I also today fixed my bamboo farm. Hopefully I was only getting about quarter to half of the amount of bamboo out of the farm because I misbuilt it. Hopefully that should now be improved. Which should then fill up the smelters better. I wondered why it was taking so long to fill things up. Now I know. Right, so we need deep slate, not deep slate, nether brick. Let's stick you in here. Keep a stack on us because, yeah, it always comes in handy. So where's the red nether bricks here? I don't want a ton of this. Because the bottom section, where's the cracked? I should have some cracked nether bricks somewhere. See? Hiding in my shulker monster. It's slowly coming back. We will try and improve the situation. Stone. So which one of you lot had the stone in? You're all lava by the look of it. Okay, that's the rockets. I better put you back in my ender chest, otherwise I will forget and then wonder what I did with them. You over here? No, you were over there. You were off on your own. The purpose of this building is going to be where this is the final home of the trading halls. Well, one of them anyway. So currently way down here is a current trading hall. Those villagers afterwards are going to be moving up into here. But first of all, I need to build the lava castle. Then I need to build the support pillars. And I need to build an island for the support pillars to be on. So that is the plan. I had already built an island over here. I think I've shown it a few times, but we'll fly over anyway. Only it's too high up when it comes back in, when it comes into render range. I think I've gone too far. Yeah. Follow the diorite lines. So easy to get lost. And I have done. Right, so that comes around this way. So we're on the wrong side. So there's supposed to be a minimum of 4 to 5 floating islands. Here's the one. So I built this floating island. It's not detailed or finished, but it's too high up because that platform would not, and it's also too small. This platform is only 74 by 74. The final version needed to be 78 by 78. And I can't make this bigger, and this is too high. That building will be 100 tall. We are currently on 226, which means I am approximately 8 blocks too high. So what I need to do at some point is, this island can be repurposed for one of the other islands, but I need to go around the outside and put different blocks rather than the deep slate, because the deep slate needs to be used on the island over there, and then obviously detailing blocks need to go underneath. The wireframe is for a floating island. Hang on. Let's find... So, because there's a house. So this is the ground floor. There are 3 more floors above this. This is the location of how wide the 2nd and 3rd floor are going to be. And then it comes in to a small tower, which is only 1 tall in the middle. Yeah, so there's all... I know it's late in the season, but I would love to get at least one of the islands done. And if I don't, well, there's always next season. Right, so I wanted these. That's the plan anyway. We will see how it works out. Because we all know what it's like with plans. They're valid for the second you make them. After that, they're out of date. So there's lots of work to do in the next few months. Some of it will be grindy stuff like doing repeats of this further up. Sorry guys. When it begins to get too boring grindy, we will go back to work on the base and throw in some nice stuff like some pretty trees, etc. And it's all good. I am terrible when it comes to communicating what I want because the plan's in my head, which makes it harder for other people. And I've been very fortunate that there are people like Ali and Joe and all sorts of other people who have, and Sober as well, saying, well, if you need this resource or that resource, let me know, which is fantastic because it means I can concentrate on building, but I also feel bad because they put all the effort into it and then they just give it to me. Yeah, that's the thing. It's if the build was completely pre-planned in creative, I could go, here's a schematic, this is what I plan, feel free to help. But because it's in my head, it's different. Yeah, for me it is. Not for everybody. There are people who build on the server who have to do it in creative first because that's their way of building, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Because we all play the game in our own way. Yeah. You mean in life in general? Sometimes it's the best way. Sometimes it gets us into trouble, sometimes it's the best way. I will do. Yeah, like I say, the thing is, it's a case of that floating island now either needs to change to cobble, smooth stone, or snow. and ice, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it may be worth my putting scaffolding underneath. It may be worth my going right. In fact, it's probably better for me to just get a ton of cobble, and on the inside of the build, put that there, and then put scaffolding underneath and build up and knock it down. But that's a lot of time. And like you say, we're pretty far into the season now. So that is now going to be the last island I would work on. Oh, it's all good. That's true, Ontario, that everybody plays a game differently. Some like to build, others like to grind resources, and others tend to build a lot. It's exactly the same in the real world. Some like to bake, some like to make sure you get crops exact. That's very, very true. And like I say, I really appreciate the grinders who love to grind as much as the builders and everyone else. And that is why I went wrong. Because that should be a 2, not a 1. Let's correct that while I'm seeing it. It is how society works, and it's how it works well. If people can do the bits that they really enjoy doing. We can't all do that. But then we find different things that we enjoy doing, or a means to doing it, which is cool. I was on the other side, wasn't I? In the end, you pay them the correct type of currency for that person receiving it, and everybody's happy. Exactly. Yep. And you did that with the Christmas build. I really appreciated the resources you and Ali and etc. for the towards the gifts, towards the build. Because without you guys, I couldn't have done what I did so quickly. There's why there's a thank you wall there for everybody who helped out that way. Because you guys are truly awesome. That's what I love about TC. People pitch in. Exactly. Oh, here we go again. Give me a second. Let's find the bed, which is in one of these corners somewhere. Which corner did I put the bed in? The one over here. Yeah. Yeah. There is never I won't say never, but it is highly unlikely there is a build on the server that hasn't involved somebody else in some way, whether it's being able to buy a resource you need from one of the shops, etc., to somebody grinding something, or somebody just lending the time to take a look at the build to say, yeah, that looks awesome, but that looks a bit, maybe do it this way, or giving a little bit of experience and knowledge. That makes sense. So yes, things go up fast, but especially the public farms, where there's so many people with so much technical knowledge. And so many people who love to grind to help them get to the stage where they can implement that. It's like the iron farm going up in the first couple of days. But it couldn't be done unless the grinders do what they do with digging out the hole for the farm to go in. One, two. Then again, for trade to make much sense, something's got to be the currency. That is very true. But then again, with a shopping district, you can say what currency you want. Whether it be gold, whether it be Titan shards, whether it be the diamonds, which are generally used. But people are appreciated for what they do because of the amount of effort they put in. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. People can get set up very quickly. But which is a good thing and a bad thing in some ways, because some people love the early game. And we get through the early game very quickly. Yeah, there's one on each side. So you could fit 130 seasons into TC per year. No way 180. It varies. Like I say, you have to also think about it that there are people who love doing the smaller builds too, and there is literally nothing at all that says you have to do a big build, that you have to rush things. You take things at your own pace. If you want to do a dirt hut and that's all you want to do, as long as you're having fun, go for it. That's my view on it anyway. It's all about having fun. If you're not having fun, then there's no point. And it doesn't matter how well you play the game, as in how great you are at redstone, great you are at digging, great you are at building, or or where you are on the sliding scale up and down. There's always somebody better. There's always somebody worse. And it's all about or what they consider themselves worse at building. But I don't consider it worse if you're having fun. Of all current things, again, yeah, you could do it very, very quickly. Like I say, we've had a season where the end wasn't closed and there was people in the end within the space of a few hours, and they'd killed the dragon. Oh, that's cool, Ali. That's the thing. Some people love to explore. It's what I love about Minecraft. There are so many ways to play it, and none of them are wrong. Unless you're hurting somebody else. Then I guess I'll have a thing. I would class that as wrong. Unless it was. And that's fine. It's a case of having fun with what you do. There are a lot of people who love the early game. And I want to see where you are. So 1-1. Yep, you should be there. Whereas the early game it's okay. I have no problems with the early game, but I'm a builder. You like the early part of the game when you and the group you join in, start making a base, and everyone is doing their part. That's cool. Yep, that's fun. Like I say, for me, I'm a builder. I like my tools to get the resources so I can start building. Because we had the trading hall, the trading halls that are down there were done in the first few weeks of the server. And I haven't they're not fully complete. There's a little bit of lighting in one of them that needs to be put in. And I think there's a couple of blocks either gone missing over the season, or I need to replay, or I forgot to put in. Let's see. That's better. That's fixed that one. You're a builder too, Piri. Yeah. You like the technical aspect? The command block thing, data packs. That's cool. And I love that you can do that. There aren't many. I could be completely wrong, if you know what I mean. But there doesn't seem to be many games where you can do that kind of thing. You can have so many different aspects. But then again, I could be completely and utterly wrong. Nothing new with that. But there has to be some reason it's been so successful for so long. That's true, you can. You can change a lot of stuff without doing that. Right, so it's the first 6 layers I want for. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've 2 more rows to put on. And then we'll mix in a few of the cracked and the red. What I'm trying to do is make it darker at the bottom and get more and more red as it goes up. So for the first 6 is going to be more the dark nether brick. Then I'm going to put in a little bit more in the middle 6, and in the top it's good. Pretty much the reverse of the bottom, only the majority red rather than the dark. Yep, data packs are... There's some really fun data packs. Right, so let's grab the cracked. Yep, that should do that. But then we have people like Lima who seems to love doing map art. And he comes up with some amazing map art. How he does it, I know the programs and data packs, etc., that can be done that would generate it. But the amount of time and effort that has to go into do it. Thank you for the hydrate block. Yeah, the only thing lacking now is a block and item thing like the behaviour packs that Bedrock Edition has. And we could add our own blocks, mobs. Okay, that does it? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Thanks, Ali. I will let you know. I have a bunch of netherrack. Like I say, it's what my main thing is a nether wart, but fingers crossed I should be able to get that with one of the somebody said I could borrow their extraction tool. We have some above stuff which is very, very creative, but I also have a tiny netherrack farm, but I believe Eliza was saying they have a netherwart farm, netherrack farm. Use the right words, Pendle. They are a thing. So yeah, I believe they have a netherwart farm that I potentially could grab some from. So fingers crossed. I'm doing the middle bits, but some of the middle bits are going to come out because that pattern is going on this wall. So although I'm putting a fair bit of this in at the moment, there won't be as much of it in at the end. Would be fun if you could farm netherrack or craft it out of the box vanilla. True. I know what you mean, yeah. A way to get it via a farm or some other method than digging it. Some people don't like the digging. I appreciate that. There have been seasons I've dug a lot. And it's been a means to an end. It's not necessarily something I enjoy doing. But sometimes it's something that's been necessary to get to the stage where I have fun. Not that it's not fun, it's just not my most favourite part of the game. But for additions to the game, as a builder, it's a case of red nether brick doesn't have a cracked variant. It also doesn't have a fence variant. It would be nice to have the others. Hi Fizzu, it's good to see you. How are you doing? Happy New Year. Or Happy New Year Otter as well. Apologies. I should have said that earlier. Mind you, I've still got to say Happy New Year to my brother. I keep meaning to and keep forgetting. That's not good. He's been busy and I've been busy playing games, and before I know it, the day's gone and it's too late to give him a call, kind of thing. If I called him after a certain point, he'd think something was wrong. So, yep. You're doing good. Awesome. I'm glad you're doing good. Let's put another one up here. Like I say, I don't want a lot of red brick in this, but I do want some. Right. Okay, so let's start up the next 6 rows. Now we'll put in the bottom bits first. We'll do these bits first, otherwise, and then I can just work my way around the curves. Right, so it's nice that I'm off for the couple of weeks, because I'm been enjoying just popping out whenever I feel like it. It's a good thing you took this week off. That's cool. Yeah, I took the first 2 weeks of January off because I worked through the Christmas period. But I do like a couple of weeks off when, no offence to kids, the vast majority of kids are awesome. Swift Sneak, yeah, I keep forgetting that that's added. I don't have it on my pants, I think it is. So your company gives everybody off the week between Christmas and New Year, and you took this week off when the kids go back to school. That's awesome. Yeah, we get the bank holidays kind of thing, but somebody has to be on call. Even Christmas Day, New Year's Day, etc. Because some of the companies we support work 24/7, 365. But it's like I say, most kids are awesome. They really are. But if I'm going to take time off, no offence to the kids, I'd like to take the time off when they're not going to be underfoot, kind of thing. So yeah. Which is usually a case of me taking my holidays outside of normal school holidays. On call is horrible. You got off of being on call for work in 2018, but now I'm on call as volunteer for a hospital instead. And that's got to be tough, so yeah. Right. Need to sort out the cracked variant. Cracked. Yeah, that's the thing. Well, there's nothing worse than that to me. It's a case of, if there's stuff to do, great. But I don't mind Christmas, etc., because most of the guys have kids. Yes, I know it's not a reason to not have yours at the same holiday at the same time. But what difference does it make to me? I like to take my holidays outside of the school holidays time anyway. Okay, so that's not too bad. We'll sort out the red brick in a second. Yeah, having nothing to do. It's a case the week before Christmas is always pretty quiet for us. People can't, if they've got any computer issues, they can't be bothered to deal with them before Christmas. They save them up for the new year, is what I found. So this week will be a busy week at work. No offence. Whereas Christmas week itself was pretty dead. Yes, it gives you time to do extra maintenance, but that's scheduled in anyway. And to be honest, you don't want to be doing maintenance when the companies you're supporting are not open in case you need to send somebody to site. Theoretically, you shouldn't need to, but we all know how it works in theory and how it works in practice are two different things. Same with any job. There's certain times of the year that are not good to be doing maintenance things. Right, so we're getting there. Considering what I started this build at the weekend, I want to say. I'd planned to start it on stream Friday, and apologies guys for that there wasn't a stream on Friday, but I couldn't get logged into the server, so it was being awkward. So I worked in creative for concepts. So what are you guys working on at the moment? Oh no, it's never an obligation. I do it because it's fun. But I have set a schedule. So I do, if I set a schedule, I like to try and keep it as much as possible. It's not always possible. Some things come up, sometimes you just can't. You're working on your library base. That's awesome. You're just watching me. Sorry, Fizzu. I appreciate the watching of the Minecrafts from you. That's too much. This is a red nether brick, and like I say, I want it to get more and more as we get to the top, and rather than tons of it at the bottom. You wanna for that's fine. But you're busy working on things. That's cool. Oh, that's the wrong block. I want the red one, thank you. I've been playing, but I've also been trying not to break my sleep pattern. Because, yeah, I've done a few IRL stuff, etc. But I can be terrible when I'm on holiday, especially if I'm on holiday for more than a couple of days. If I'm on holiday for more than a couple of days, I could end up playing a game until silly o'clock in the morning, Minecraft, and before I know it, it's 5 a.m. and I'm crawling into bed and getting up at lunchtime, and then my sleep pattern gets all out of whack. So at the moment I am busy trying not to allow that to happen. But I have a feeling it's probably going to anyway. Because it usually does. My sleep pattern is I try and log off by midnight of whatever game I'm playing. Then I can be up at between 6 and 7 in the morning for work. On a work day. So I do kind of have a sleep pattern, but job's also kind of changed. So my work pattern isn't now 7:30 till 4 every day. I only do that 3 days a week, and then I do 10 until 6:30 the other two. So it's kind of weird. I think it was a lot easier when I just had the one shift pattern, whichever pattern it was. Right. Let's grab these blocks. Then we need to do the next 6. Once we've got the next 6, we're kind of up to the top of that bit. Well, these haven't caught fire yet. I don't know whether anybody in chat knows. Does lava require an air block next to it before it will jump to a flammable block? I think I mentioned yesterday, I vaguely remember something about it, but it is a very vague memory. Alright, won't be a second, guys. So I put these blocks here yesterday. We've been working here. I've been in the area for a few hours and it hasn't burnt it yet. Then all lava can catch it on fire. Oh well. It is what it is. We'll find out eventually. I just don't want to put wood down if it's going to end up burning down because fire tick is on. Right, so I wanted more nether brick. Oops, wrong place. Probably have to fix that afterwards, but that's okay. Not that I know, because we've always played with it on TC. I was saying earlier, one of the guys I used to play with in the earlier seasons sent me a screenshot of his base that he had caught fire and burnt down. I think its lightning destroying blocks is off, but fire tick itself I'm pretty sure is usually on. It's a case of being very careful what you do and what you build sometimes. It's a very easy way to find out, I guess. Don't think I have. Let's check here in case I have one. If I have one, then great. If not, yep. Oops, wrong location. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe things have changed. I'm very surprised. Ah, well, it's spreading. Not that I'm sure how long The trees over it are still standing. Well, the fire went out on some of the sides. Does mangrove burn? Is a question. Mangrove does burn. Well, I think spread's on by the look of it. Yep, it is. Fire tick and spread is on. Like I say, I would have been surprised if it wasn't. Because I remember somebody losing their base. Or telling me about losing the base. I didn't play the season that it happened. I played the next season. Yeah, it probably does compared to planks. Planks probably take a little bit less. But so far, those the wooden logs that I put there, like I say, they've been there at least 4 hours, if not more. And that lava hasn't spread to them. What I do need to do though is try planks as well. Just to be on the safe side. Because I was also playing with floor patterns. But I don't want to put wood down as a floor if it's going to burn. Especially if there's villagers there. So I can just imagine the scene I would log into. The trading hall on fire and all the villagers were lost because they were locked in place by standing on carpet and couldn't path. Or several layers of carpet, I should say. And a raid as well, yeah. To add insult to injury. That would be just my luck. Logging into a burning trading hall in the middle of a raid. But at least there's an ocean below. But there won't be eventually, it'll be pools of lava. You can just see the poor villager falling down and landing in the pools of lava. What I may have to do, if I get this built, I have Blender, which is is it Blender? No, it wasn't Blender. It was, I have a program on my system. I've had it a while, that you can do animations with little Minecraft animations. Yep. Except Down there, just underneath, is going to be a lava lake with little islands, etc. So they may go splat on the little island, or they may go splat into the lava pool. And yep, I could just see it. It might be cool to do an animation of that after the season, if I get it finished. I went down for some blocks. That's what I was going down for. And then got distracted by the thought of burning villagers. Poor things. Put you in there. Lava. More bricks. Blackstone. The bricks. Yep, so they could do both. I shouldn't laugh, but it's kind of... It'd be kind of a funny animation to see. If I was then very good at doing them, that kind of thing. But I have done the odd one or two in the past. Took forever. It's cool that there are free programs that you can do that stuff with. Just so you can have a bit of fun every now and again with them. Almost there. Right, so the next section is going to be mostly red, so I'm going to put that section in now as well. Because if I'm going to have to build scaffolding to detail it, I may as well just build the scaffolding once. Yeah, so much happy fun sauce. This is a first for me. I haven't built with lava before. Right, so let's get this right. Put this here, but it shouldn't really be here. Oh yes, it should. You're being dippy, Pendle. Put it here and we'll knock out what we need to afterwards. Yeah, because I tend to do more, if I'm going to build a building in the past, hasn't really been a nether lavary kind of thing. Been more like IRL structures. Not a specific structure, but as in a general concept. A 1970s seaside town, or the Tudor stuff, etc. Yes, and I know I don't need to fill the corners, but I'm trying to minimise the amount of spawning spaces. I don't need zombies or something spawning in the walls. Now I've got to make a decision whether or not we put the villagers on this ground floor or we put them up on the next floor up. Because I would like them all in the one location. I'm not going to split them over floors. That would just annoy people. Having to go up and down stairs or water vators to get to certain villagers just because they're on a different floor. Yeah, that would annoy people no end. It's just easier if they're all on the same level nearby each other. Forgot to put the 2 blocks in on top. I'll do that in a second. Because whichever floor I decide them to be on does make a difference in the build itself. Because in which case, although I would put that window on the outside, I would need to put another layer of solid blocks of whatever decorative block on the inside, so that I could theoretically put the villagers a bit nearer the wall. Or I would have to figure a way for them to be in the centre of the room, but that would interfere with potentially putting in a solution for or maybe I'm overcomplicating things with the redstone solution for the raids with a button. Maybe I just have where people come in, a dispenser shoots a bucket of milk at people. Or a sign. I'll have to think about it, but it could be fun trying to come up with a method of a raid loss. So yeah, although it looks solid at the moment, I'm going to pull more of the red down into here and a little bit of the dark into those. Exactly, I could, which would probably be the easiest way to do. Because, like I say, there's very few. It's down there where the trading hall is. The size of the hall, I think I measured so that. And the amount of spawnable blocks, I don't know whether that's had an impact or not. Otherwise, it's coming up with a redstone victory loss system where the villagers get shot up. Oh yeah, didn't think about that. So if I push the villagers up, the village height is something like it's 7 or 8 blocks. So if they had a water dispenser maybe with a soil under their feet, potentially put, no, because no, it wouldn't work. I'm being dippy, ignore me. That's not going to work because it has to be a solid water column all the way up, and in which case they would be drowning, and that wouldn't be good. Unless I had 2 dispensers. Nah, because that third one would have to be a piston that would pull the block back. And I'd also have to get water there. Nah, that wouldn't work. Ignore me. Right, I was coming here for the deep slate stairs of the polished posh variety. I'm going to need more than that. Whereas the simpler option is make people drink milk before they come in. They don't drown in bubble columns, but the villagers would have to be stood here to start with. And if I want to push them up out of the way, however many blocks, so that they can't path to their lectern or whatever workstation, I would have to shoot out water here into the blocks that they stood on, and because it'd have to be water sources. But that block above their head would also have to be a water source. Otherwise it would interfere with the water column. And it might take some finagling of angles of pistons and dispensers and retractions. It may be even more complicated than dropping them down. At least with dropping them down, all I need is a piston to, because they're going to be stood on 4 layers, they need to be stood on a block that they can't path on. So at the moment, if you went into the trading halls below, they're on 3 or 4 layers of carpet stacked up on top of each other. That's why they don't jump up and down and try and move about. Whereas if I stack those carpets on top of a piston, that piston goes up and down, it breaks the carpet and drops the villager down. Yeah, the whole reason for my putting them on carping was to reduce server lag with all the pathing requests that they would give if they were jumping up and down constantly. That was my whole reason of putting them on carpets in the first place. And 1 layer won't work. It has to be multiple layers. So I think they're on either 3 or 4. I can't remember what it is. I'd have to go check. Just helps with server performance because usually villagers are end up taking up a lot of the performance power of any server, because people like their villagers, and it's understandable why, because you can get so much from them, so many resources, so many books, armor. The problem is lecterns. Lecterns are not a movable object. You cannot move. The lecterns are kind of like obsidian. You can't move it with a piston. That was my first thought. Move the block. Only you can't do it with them. Ooh, I'm sorry about that. But everything's okay with the... Yeah, it's not a straightforward problem. Like I say, my simplest solution so far would be to drop the villager down. And potentially have them land on a slime block or something. But it'll be a matter of timings to get... to break the carpet and have them drop. Right. And then once they've done that, maybe to get them back where I would need them to be, I would have to do a water column. Because that would be easier to get them back into their normal location. But like I say, I may be overcomplicating it. If there hasn't been an issue yet this season, my concern is obviously moving them up here. They're in a different environment. There will be a lot more blocks for raids to actually spawn on. If somebody comes in with bad omen, not thinking about it, it wouldn't be on purpose, it'd be one of those things. I'm sure there is, if I looked on YouTube, there's probably something there. Or looked on Reddit even. Somebody's already come up with something, would be my guess. I won't be the first person to think about it. Because it might be a case of just do the simple thing this season, and maybe next time I do villagers, put in something a little more complicated. It all depends on how much it takes to figure it out. Exactly. But it might be a nice, one of those nice problems to just problem solve. But yeah, I think the easiest thing for the server itself for me would be just, yeah, here's a bucket of milk, drink it. Or just double check that you don't have bad omen. But like I say, so far nobody's come through and kicked off a raid that I am aware of. I'm not saying that it hasn't happened. It may have happened during the time I was doing more single play than anything else. I just haven't heard from anybody about a raid. And I'm pretty sure I would have heard. I've seen one at my base. There was a patrol at my base Sunday. I killed the other guys, and the banner guy got dipped in lava. Put a bucket of lava at his feet to get rid of him. Simplest solution. And sometimes it's just a matter of keep it simple, as they say. Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss theory. Don't complicate things that don't need to be complicated. Even if it is fun. Right. To the end of this one. Okay, so we've kind of hit the 2-hour mark, and my tea has been in the slow cooker since the start of the stream. So hopefully it should be ready. And I'm looking forward to it. It's a big pan of broth, stew, whatever you want to call it, depending upon what part of the world or country you live in. Let's see if anybody is actually streaming. We've got Mr. Joker, who is just chatting. But if you're saying there are issues with people being able to get to streams, I'm not sure if it's worth trying, if Twitch is being twitchy. I will let you guys go find somebody you would love to see. Hopefully you can find somebody. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you for stopping by. I always appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Take care, everybody. Have a great day and week. I will see you Friday. For those who can make it. For those who can't, I hope to see you at some point in the future. Bye all.